Luigi, awesome to be here, and the reason we're here is because there is so much to talk about. There's been so much success lately for Novara Park, and it must be you must be chuffed with what's happening here.
Yeah, look, over the moon. I guess you put a lot into the game. Your staff work hard, and you reap the rewards, and yeah, it feels fantastic. Absolutely.
Luigi, for people who don't know much about you, tell us about your background and how you ended up in this wonderful industry.
Yeah, look, I'm based in Wellington, and my dad was always a big horseman. He had a horse that he bred that was a dual Group 1 winner called Kingston Bay. I used to get breeding magazines because he was a member of the New Zealand Thoroughbred Breeders Association, and I quickly had a love for pedigrees. And my father, his fishing partner in the early days was Phil Cataldo's dad, and Phil's New Zealand's best bloodstock agent. He fished with Lib Britannia's dad from Elsden Park, so it's a bit of a small world there. I'm very close to my brother. My father passed away 2 years ago, and I speak to my brother probably every day in Sydney. He went to Sydney in 2003. He was quick there to support Chris Waller with his first horses, and was Chris Waller's best man at his wedding. So yeah, look, we've got some deep relationships that have been going for many, many years, and it helps us grow.
There's a lot to get through. Let's start with Lucky Sweynesse. How awesome has it been following him and what he's achieved on the international stage?
Yeah, look, just keeps on getting better and better. I mean, for me, when I look at the global rankings now, and the highest rated New Zealand horse in the world, and now the 4th best horse in the world, a leading New Zealand sire in Hong Kong, but also the leading sire on winners to runners in Hong Kong. So yeah, look, he's going to do a lot for Sweynesse moving forward. He had an outstanding yearling sale where they averaged 10 times service fee. His ready to run sale was 13 times service fee, and it's fantastic. There's no better thrill for me when I'm next to a client and their horse goes for 6 figures, and I get the big hugs, so it's fantastic.
And that's going to make for a pretty busy breeding season for Sweynesse, you'd be thinking?
Oh, it is. I just, I get excited when I look at what I've got in the paddock, and it's going to be a big increase overall for all the Novara stallions and what we do in total. So we're just getting ready for that. New accommodation for extra staff, and we keep growing.
And of course, also we've got to talk about Pignon, who of course is sired by Staphanos. A wonderful, a dream start, isn't it, for your stallion? Look,
it really is. I look at what the next 12 months will bring. For a first season sire to get a Group 1 winner in their first crop is pretty amazing. You've got to go way back to McPhee and Perencanto, and both of them actually ended up being sires who left multiple Group 1 winners. So yeah, he's got a huge future ahead of him.
And when we heard from Joe Doyle and Lisa Latter after the race, they commented on Pignon's toughness and versatility, and that's really good qualities, aren't they?
Oh, it is, and that's what I sort of say is once they get out to a mile and 2,000 metres and 2.4, for the classics, it could be really anything for New Zealand. So, really exciting. Obviously, it's been an amazing season to have both 2-year-old Group 1 races won by Sons of Deep Impact, and I think New Zealand breeders will really be watching.
What have you noticed in the quality and the type of progeny that Staphanos is leaving? You've got a really close-up view of what he's able to produce.
Yeah, look, they are quite different. It's been quite amazing watching them through when they're born and growing into their 2-year-old frames, and also further growth to come. So I think we've seen his bulletproof temperament. He was a multiple Group 1 horse in Japan, but he was also a multiple Group 1 performer in Hong Kong. So he had that ability to hop on a plane and travel and perform, and I think we're seeing that in their temperaments. I think they're very athletic individuals. You look at compared to any other horses, they just move well, and I think as a Japanese breeder once said, they're almost like cats. They're just very, very light on their feet.
Explosive Jack was part of a sensational autumn for the Kiwis, and that must have been really special for you because it's an important family for Novara Park.
Yeah, Explosive breeding evolved from my foundation mare Explosive, and I bought her in 1999, and she had 6 fillies out of her in a row, and I thought, oh no, what's happening? But Explosive Jack is out of Extra Explosive, who was the Castletown Stakes winner. Vinda Dance was out of the first filly born out of Explosive, and he won the New Zealand Derby. So look, it's great to know that my foundation family, and I've got about 12 or so mares on this farm from that family, is going to put me in a good position for the future.
And of course, having horses with Kieran Maher and David Eustace and some of the best trainers arguably in the world, that's such a great asset too, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I mean, it's very hard to sell horses for me. Fillies out of the Explosive family. Last year, Chris Waller bought Staphanos out of Extra Explosive, and Tiakau bought a beautiful filly, Staphanos, out of Ultra Explosive. So it's fantastic to have them in the best stables.
And the other thing we need to talk about is a new addition to the Novara Park Stallion roster. That's really exciting. Tell me about Press Statement.
Yeah, look, my brother bred Press Statement and raced him with Chris Waller. We sort of looked at his numbers and what he was doing here in New Zealand with 10 runners and 8 winners and 2 stakes performers, and we just looked at his 117 two-year-old horses coming up and thought, here's an opportunity. And as luck was have it, in the last month he's sired a Group 2 winner and a Group 1 performer, so lucky again.
What do you think he's going to add to the New Zealand stallion ranks?
I think New Zealand probably proven value for money. I think when you look out there and what's available, and we do like to offer value for money, he will be definitely popular for those who are looking for a trade horse and at a bargain fee.
And whilst we're here, Luigi, to be remiss of me not to mention King of Comedy as well.
Yeah, really excited about King of Comedy. You know, at one point he was rated the highest ranked 3-year-old in Europe. He's by the best young sire in Europe, which is Kingman. He had a huge turn of foot. His first foals are outstanding and they'll sell well. He's by the Invincible Spirit sire line, which the Australians know very, very well.
Luigi, you invest a lot of money in New Zealand racing. You're a key part of the industry. What keeps you motivated? What keeps you hungry for more?
I think results. To have the best New Zealand bred horse in the world is very humbling, and that it can be done. And what I love, it can be done on the cheap. You don't need to go out and buy an expensive mare. I look at all my mares and where they've come from, and the great thing that I loved in my early days was with my father, is going to Australia with a horse that cost a few $1,000s to bred, beating the $1 million horse, and there's no better thrill than that.
What makes you tick? What's the thing that you love most about the racing and breeding industry?
I think a love of the animal. I think, you know, when I look now and I come here and you see them grow and what they can grow into, it's fantastic. The people. I think, you know, you get hard-working people, and I'm a Wellington-based businessman who relies on my staff, and I communicate with them every day and they do a fantastic job. So I just do the pedigrees and they do the hard work.
What about for the future? It's been a massive 12 months for Novara Park. Can we expect more growth? Are we going to get more success?
To be at that pinnacle, like the best horse in Hong Kong and the best in Australia, and really at that level with horses like Explosive Jack, it's those type of results that really give me a spring in my step.